to be withdrawn.
You're seeking withdrawal.
That's right. Yeah. You're a grub. You're a dirty, rotten little grub.
Come on, Jerry.
The Minister will withdraw that comment.
After what your faction leader...
Point of order, Mr Chairman. And there are people interjecting who aren't in their right seats.
Well, I'd remind the Minister, after what your faction leader did yesterday, you have no capacity to call people those names.
Welcome back to PNG Trends Burner. You thought Papua New Guinea's Parliament was dramatic? Buckle up, mates. Australia's Parliament has its fair share of epic moments too. This video is a compilation of some fiery exchanges, hilarious comebacks, and yes, even the occasional political blunder that have become legendary down under. From sharp witticisms to removal of MPs that leave you speechless, we'll showcase the most unforgettable clashes and epic moments in Australian politics.
Question, because you know what? It's been 260 days in this place, and I've never been asked a question. Never once. Never once. That's it. That's their attitude to agriculture. And the first question I get asked for by agriculture is for the member for Sydney, isn't it? The member for Sydney. The member for Sydney. And what's the question? You'd think they'd ask a question about how in May we had record movements of beef. Over 108,000 tonnes of beef. You'd think they'd ask a question that we've moved over 1.3 million head of sheep, live sheep. And since we've signed off the Bahrain agreement, the price of sheep have gone up by $30 a head. Up by $30 a head. An extra $12,000 per semi-load, up to about $36,000 per semi-load. But of course we didn't get a question about that. You'd think they'd ask a question about the 585,000 head of cattle we've moved in the live cattle trade, something that you were responsible for shutting down. But of course, no, we didn't get a question about that. We got a question about it. A rumour. A rumour. A rumour. So I've heard another rumour. Here's a rumour. I've heard that the member for Sydney wants the leader of the opposition's job. Here's a rumour. Here's another rumour. I've heard that someone from the New South Wales right, got convicted by the ICAC for corruption. Oh, hang on, that's not a rumour, that's the truth. Eddie Beans. I heard another rumour that someone from the New South Wales right, also wants your job. Tony Burke wants your job. Well, that's not a rumour either. I heard another rumour that the member for Lily is still in the chamber. No, it's the truth. He's still here. So we hear lots of rumours. Around here, but we never get any questions about policy. No questions about policy. I welcome you. After 260 days, they've finally decided that there is an agricultural portfolio, but they just can't work out how to ask a question about it. Now we just go back to the diesel fuel rebate. It is your party that wants to put a tax of 6.85 cents a litre on diesel. So there's only one party to vote for if you want the tax, you.
I call the honourable member for Robertson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Before the member completes, we'll have silence from both sides.
Australia is going to have to work harder and more effectively and with greater productivity growth to carve a greater slice out of what may be
And there's been a power loss through the entire Parliament, so that's where we'll leave.
Are you accepting it?
No, of course not. It's rubbish.
The government is not accepting it.
We'll pick it up in 2 weeks' time.
Order!
Mr. Speaker, give him a Valium.
I have a further personal explanation to make today.
It better be better than the first two.
Oh, Madam Speaker, that sort of commentary.
The member for Isaacs will remove himself on 94A.
You control. You're a disgrace. You control. You're a disgrace.
Madam Speaker.
We will have some order in this place.
Order? Oh, what on earth?
Senator Hanson.
I'm quite happy to remove this because this is not
what should belong in this Parliament.
Ms Hanson, when I look at your policy document that turns around and says that we should be banning Muslims from coming to this country, I have to ask, does that mean that a 5-year-old Sam Dastyari should never have been able to set foot in Australia because somewhere in Tehran there's a document that says beside my name the word Muslim because of where I was born?
Are you a Muslim? Really? Right? Gee whiz.
Yeah, and I've never hidden away, no.
So were you sworn in under the Quran?
I was born in an Islamic nation, and by being
you're a
born
Muslim?
in an Islamic nation, I was born and under Iranian law, under Islam, to be able to come to this country.
This is quite interesting. Are you practicing Muslim?
So what? Miss Hanson, I think you're trying to make a joke of what is
No,
a serious...
I'm surprised. I didn't
I think
know
you're
that
making a
about
joke.
you.
What, because he doesn't have three heads?
Well, because I don't have to...
Deputy Speaker, there's no member of the Executive present. The House is not in order. It must be shut down immediately. Standing orders are very clear. Executive present, Mr Deputy Speaker. He wasn't here, Mr Deputy Speaker. He was not here.
Last time this happened, Alexander Downer went to the men's room.
Mr Deputy Speaker, point of order. I made a point of order several moments ago. There was no member of the Executive present. He was outside. The House should have been shut down at that moment. At that very moment, Mr Deputy Speaker. You can't buy time to allow the member to wander back into the House. You were not here. You were outside. Everybody saw it. You were not present. You wandered away.
The member for Marn will be seated for a second. I've referred to the clerk. The clerk's advised me to continue with proceedings. I call the member for Marn.
Point of order. There was no member of the Executive present. It was very clear. We all saw him outside. He was not in the chamber. He cannot now claim he was magically here the whole time. Respect for the clerk. I did not make the point of order to the clerk. I made it to you. You should have ruled on my point of order at that moment. And you did not.
The member
you
for
gave the honourable member
seated.
time to wander back into the chamber when he was not physically present.
The member for will be seated.
What an incompetent government, Mr Speaker. High level. No wonder Pauline Hanson's running the show, Mr Deputy Speaker.
The Leader of the Opposition should withdraw the interjections that he persistently makes across the chamber along the lines in which you have insisted be withdrawn.
The Leader of the Opposition will withdraw without qualification.
I withdraw.
I thank the Leader of the
It's
Opposition.
still an untrue statement.
The Leader of the Opposition will remove himself from the chamber under 94A and to continually ignore the member for Mackellar. The Leader of the Opposition has now been advised will leave the chamber on 94A. The member for Wakefield has the call.
Shit happened.
Member for Greenway is warned. Well, in that case, you may leave under 94A. The member for Shorten will leave under 94A. The member for was in the seat, and indeed, having sat down, she too will leave under 94A, sequentially. The member for Moreton will leave under 94A.
At risk of adding to the total, I should note that 18 people in one question time is an all-time record since Federation.
You don't write crap.
The Leader of the Opposition is the Mr Potato Head of Australian politics. He's the Mr Potato Head. You can put whatever face you like.
Resolved in the affirmative, the member for O'Connor is suspended from the service of the House for 24 hours under Standing Order 94.
You just undermine my high opinion of you.
Order. The honourable member for O'Connor, just before he leaves the House, might go back to his position and apologise to the chair. Oh, we'll deal with him when he returns. The Minister for Resources.
Downer vows a fresh start. How are you going over there, Curly? Old darling. Order. Well, don't be too noisy over there. Yeah.
Order. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
You're so macho. Twice you've had a chance to take the opposition leadership. The first time you rang your friend next to you and offered it to him. This time you sat overseas while John got it from Hawke's Nest. Now, when I told our caucus last year that you were a low-altitude flyer, I was right, wasn't I?
One for the country, Robert! One for the country!
a song called Beds Are Burning. And have a listen to this. Have a listen to this. Righto.
Now, questions of ministerial competence, and let me say I defend for the full Mr. Down.
Unless they can damage the credibility of this economic package, they are gone for all money at the next election.
The honourable member for Bennelong.
I don't normally do this.
The minister.
But I object to the comment made here by this thing on the front seat.
Oh, Jerry, come on.
No, come on. No, I object to that and I demand it be withdrawn.
You're seeking withdrawal.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're a grub. You're a dirty, rotten little grub.
Come on, Jerry.
The minister will withdraw that comment.
After what your faction
Point
leader...
of order, Mr. Chairman. And there are people interjecting who aren't in their right seats.
The minister.
Well, I'd remind the member, after what your faction leader did yesterday, you have no capacity to call people those names.
I will be responsible for what I do in here, not what others do.
Well, you just mind your temper. I know a lot better than you. I do know a lot better than you. And I can control myself.
You're not running this country yet. That's your
use the sort of language. You just understand that you ought to restrain your language.
The honourable member for Bennelong.
Don't you call people what you did.
I warned the honourable member for Bennelong.
You called my friend the most offensive name.
I never call anybody an offensive name.
You did.
The minister. I call the minister to withdraw the comment that he made.
The comment you made about my honourable friend, the member for Mitchell.
Bennelong will resume his seat.
He is my honourable friend.
Well, he might be your honourable friend, but in deference to you, I withdraw.
Thank you.
The honourable
Having
member for
cleared that
Bennelong.
up, we can resume a rational debate about the future of this country.
Shake of the sauce bottle, mate. Fair shake of the sauce bottle, mate. Well, again, fair shake of the sauce bottle, mate.
Number 3, how many times a day do you actually shake the sauce bottle?
This is called pause for thought. Not often enough.
I take it you'd like me to sing. I sing like a cow. I want your support to do this. You and you and you and you and you to make a difference.
The #1 whinger in Australia was a reality TV show, Madam Speaker. There'd be no point in any other contestant entering it, because if Bill Shorten entered it, he would win it. But it's time on Thursday night, the Leader of the Opposition has an opportunity, Madam Speaker.
The Manager of Opposition Business will resume his seat.
You're such a cunt.
The Minister will refer to people by their correct titles.
I will, Madam Speaker. I will.
It was great to be able to announce the $15 million that we will put towards the eradication of carp, getting the plans going to eradicate carp. We know that it's incredibly important because we are afflicted in this nation, we are afflicted with this disgusting mud-sucking creatures, bottom-dwelling mud-sucking creatures, for which the only form of control is a version of herpes to try and get rid of these disgusting mud-sucking creatures. But we will move forward on this. We will move forward because we believe that we should be getting rid of these disgusting mud-sucking creatures to more support some of the better animals of our waterways, the silver perch and the yellow belly and the Murray cod and the eastern cod and the catfish. But we don't want to have to deal with carp. No, we don't want to deal with carp. We've got to get rid of the carp. Because when we've dealt with this virus, do you know, Mr. Speaker, that we're going to have between 500,000 and 2 million tonnes of carp. 2 million tonnes of carp. We'll have to bury the carp. We'll have to put it outside, put it in the paddocks, bury it, put it underground, probably take the place of horse manure or something. But it's incredibly important that we have a healthy nation We need a healthy nation and a strong economy. A strong economy. And you've got to go to some extreme measures at times to make sure we keep our economy and our environment healthy, even if it does require a version of a venereal disease to deal with it. But that's what's required. That's what's required. And we're looking forward to making sure we keep the Peel a very healthy river. We want the Peel to be a very healthy river. We want the Ballon. It's a shame to see the member for Morton no longer here, because we want the Ballon to be a healthy river. We want the Hunter. We want the Hunter to be a very healthy river. We want the Hunter to be a healthy river. We want the Clarence to be a healthy river. We would love the Fitzroy to be a healthy river. We want the Fitzroy to be a healthy river. And we want the Murray. We want the Murray to be a healthy river. And the Murrumbidgee. We on the coalition are going to make sure that we have a healthy river and a healthy economy, because we're going to get rid of the carp.
Can I just make a point about that little aside, Mr Speaker? I might ask the Leader of the Opposition, did he have his children on board when he met Kerry Packer for lunch 2 Thursdays ago? In his Guess Who's Coming to Lunch? Eh? Or was it just you and Kerry? Was it a nice little meeting? How did Kerry treat you? Well, I hope. You know, one Sydney boy to another. One Sydney boy to... Better he treats me, eh? Yeah? Yeah, good. Good on you, John.
Bought him a small Christmas present as a token. I know that he's probably feeling a little bit poorly today.
Mr Speaker, yesterday there was a usage of a prop by the Leader of the National Party, which you ruled out of order and had to be done away with. What is the difference when this prop is introduced? Is there one rule for each side?
The Deputy Leader of the Opposition, I did remind that she shouldn't display it too much, and she was good enough to listen. No, the prop. I think that I'll just rule against the member for Mackellar's point of order and get myself out of the second hole I've dug today. And just remind the House that whilst the member for Mackellar was on her feet, I was reminding the Deputy Prime Minister that she'd used her props long enough, and that's enough. And I'll try to be silent for the rest of question time. The Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I'll move right on before we start debating censorship laws, which was where that was all going next, as far as I could tell. There's Gretsch to get rid of, and of course there's those
Deputy
climate
Prime
change
Minister
deniers.
will resume her seat. Member for Mackellar on a point of order.
Mr Speaker, I think I preferred the props. Could we return?
But that deserves an award, even though it might not have been a point of order. The Deputy Prime Minister will relate her material in some manner to the question.
Thank you very much. On the question of civics education, and I'd say to the member for Mackellar, in this horse race, the old horse ain't what she used to be. But moving right on.
The Prime Minister resume his seat. The member for Mackellar on a point of order.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I think the Minister wins by a nose.
But I cannot believe that the member for Mackellar could get 2 awards. But the Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. It's true to say I've got a genetic advantage. I'm prepared to pay that.
Think we missed something truly legendary? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to stay tuned for more wild moments from parliaments in the Pacific, including Papua New Guinea, Australia and New Zealand, be sure to subscribe to PNG Trends Burner.